Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 14, episode 9, and today we have a massive moment in what could be our final season of the series. We take Barcelona into the Spanish Cup final, the Copa del Rey against Levante, a side that have been performing well in the season, a side that are doing well in Europe, but a side that we should be heavy favourites against to lift our first trophy at this massive club. It should, if all goes to plan, be the first of 3 as well. We're 8 points clear in La Liga after Real Madrid continue to slip up, and we're looking to get the title all wrapped up before we play them on the final day of the league season. And then we're now in the Champions League semi-final. The reason this game is separate and standalone is because of the drama of the PSG one last time out. A penalty shootout after extra time, an incredible tie, and we are into the last 4. So a chance at the treble, a chance at the defining trophy which ends the series, and a chance at our second major domestic title and major honours today in our third different country. We've won the Premier League in England. We have of course won the German Cup with Gladbach, and now we have Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final and at the top of La Liga. We've won the Europa League, we've won the Championship, we've won League One, and we've also managed in international football and in non-league back in England as well. There is so much for us to be proud of, particularly after our sacking at Charlton in the middle. This is possibly one of the biggest moments. So we have got Levante today, but it is just 3 days later from that PSG game in the last episode. We've got 4 players out injured now because of the Giura knock against PSG, and we've got other players who are nowhere near fit. So let me take you through to the squad, just so you can have a look at the physical. So let's go to selection info. Rui Alves, we were pleased his knock was only a day. He is nowhere near fit. Molina, nowhere near fit. Esposito, not back to fitness. Galovic and Todibo, both slightly tired. And Nicolo Armini, he's 90% fit, but ideally at 32, he could do with a bit more recovery time. But he doesn't have that option today. We've got a stream of youngsters on the bench from the B team, players that we promoted because of the lack of signings. And I'm wondering if Michael Edwards' lack of activity is going to end up costing us in this one, because we are a little bit depleted and we're relying on a lot of backup players. However, they did well in the league last week. We've only got 3 days after this until Real Sociedad, the side who are 4th in La Liga, where we're going to have to play almost a youth team. It's going to be very difficult, but if we can win this trophy and we can get a result there, I'd be confident the domestic double's done for sure. So 75,000 people at the Mestalla, the new Mestalla in Valencia, to watch Barcelona versus Levante. Oscar Alvarez in charge of the visitors. They have got a very good manager, and I think they're still in the Europa League. They were last time I looked. No, they've just gone out to Everton in the last round, so they are not in there anymore. What that does mean is they've had 6 days rest. So their first team likely to be available. They've got a few out injured, but a couple just knocked. And mostly they've got fit players, they've got hungry players, and they've got a chance to win a major trophy. So let's go and have a look at our lineup. 4 players down through injury, another 2 players down through lack of physical fitness. And that means 6 of our first 11 potentially missing today. So as a result of that, and what we do have available, and the fact we've still had to play some tired players, this is what we've gone for today. It's Bernard in goal, Martinez in at right back, the unhappy fullback who's barely played a game, Galovic tired at left back, Armini and Todibo both not really fit at centre half, Frankie de Jong in the deep line playmaker role, Florentino Luis in as the Mazzala, Onasimo on the right, will change him to an inside forward, Ferran Vidal moved forward to number 10, he played in the Mazzala in midweek, and Jadon Sancho off the left wing with Christian Mastonov up front. He has had a couple of poor games recently, was awful against PSG, did nick a goal at Getafe, but aside from that, 3 other goalless games. So if he could find his shooting boots today again, that would be much appreciated. On the bench, we've got Vinagre and Rui, the 2 defenders. We've also got Boadu, the unhappy attacker, who missed that penalty in midweek. And we've got Navarro out of the youth team, Jamie out of the B team, and Gorka Martin out of the B team. Ledesma basically out the cold. He has made 1 start in the Champions League when we were already through, 2 starts in the Spanish Cup, and 2 sub-appearances in the First Division. And today he could add to that. He's an average player. He's not really Barcelona standard, but he might be called upon in a Spanish Cup final. So what do you think down below? How are we going to get on today? What's the score going to be? as we head into Barcelona v Levante. It is the Copa del Rey final and a chance at our first trophy in Spain. Quite an attacking layout for Levante, 4-2-3-1. We've had warnings about Antonio, the centre-half, and Fran, the striker, who has been scoring big goals this year. 20 already in his 37 appearances. Only 8 in La Liga, but he has banged them in the Spanish Cup all year. They've got Arrieta on the left wing, who has caused us personal problems before. They've just got some very good players, so we are going to need to be careful. We're going to go into the team talk, ask the lads to win it for the supporters, just as the assistant recommends. Always trusting Jenkins there. And then we are going to go to the tactics and start off just positive because we don't want to get too far on the front foot. We're going to go inside forward on attack for Onasimo. And aside from that, I think we'll stay as we were. To the tunnel interview we go. It is important we try and win. We're unbeaten against Levante this year. We've got no chance of Rui Alves because he's not fit. He's being rested. And any team would miss one of their stars, but they're not missing as bigger players as we are. Into the final we go, Barcelona v Levante. Let's see if we can come out on top and live up to the favourites tag. As Levante, playing in their home kit, back to Galvan. We're forced into the away yellow strip as it's back to the goalkeeper. Out to Moran, pressure on him and he just beats it. Gets it away to the right back, Hostench, down the right hand side. Been challenged down by the fullback, but Galovic already tired. And he looked it in that tackle, I won't lie to you. And he comes back again, but can't get near the ball. Ibanez crosses, it's 1-0 Levante. Arrieta has scored in the second minute of the match. And we've just made things a lot harder for ourselves. Barcelona 0, Levante 1. And if you had any doubts about this being an easy game, I hope you've got your answer. But we respond with a corner, not even 10 minutes on the clock. Sancho's ball in is headed away well. It falls for Florentino Luis, who's lost it. And Arrieta gets it off the right-hand side. Fran does well to find him. To the edge of the box, Arrieta's beaten Galovic again. It's blocked by Martinez, back to the keeper. And hopefully we get it clear now. Galovic has looked all at sea here. And maybe we should have just played the backups. Is Vinagre that much weaker? Was he going to let us down? I don't know. Florentino Luis to De Jong. Here's Vidal. To Florentino Luis again. Into the centre circle to Vidal. Has space this time. Man over on the right in Onasimo. Into the box. 2 in the middle. One of them Sancho. Oh, it's in. The keeper's made him howler. It was straight at him. Sancho had the whole net to aim at. When straight at the goalkeeper, it was a terrible header. And the keeper has let it slip through his grasp. And we somehow draw level. We have not deserved it. We're going to go back attacking the more natural style and demand more. But we are delighted to be back on terms because we have been woeful so far. And we're coming forward again with Galovic to Luis and Vidal. Galovic getting into the game at least now. Beats his fullback. Finds Florentino. Into the box towards Onasimo. And he's headed away to the edge of the box. Arrieta to Jose. And they're coming at us again. On the counter we look so weak. They've got 5 men up and we've only got 2 back. Ibanez is in and scores. Where on earth has the defence gone? We're going to make a substitution or a tactical change. Florentino Luis deep line playmaker because they're both getting caught out. But what on earth has happened to us today? We've barely conceded a goal in recent weeks. And that has been a dismal 22 minutes. I have no idea how to defend it. It is a goal kick for Levante, and they look by far the better side. I know this is a massive ask to recover from the game in midweek, but we are such a better side on paper. The resources are so much more. You would expect more than getting completely overrun by a mid-table team. As Galvan gets the ball on the left to Braquez. It's all Levante. They look like scoring again. Arrieta challenged by Martinez. And now we need Mastonov magic. Beats one man with a first touch. Got the second tied up in the box. Stands in well. Finds Sancho. Volleys in for 2-2. And there was no doubt about that finish from Jadon Sancho. Barcelona 2, Levante 2. Sancho celebrates a new 1-year deal by getting us back on terms again. And this time we need to take advantage. As Todibo finds De Jong. In the middle of the pitch, plenty of space. Switches to Sancho on a hat-trick, of course. Into the box, he's brought down. That's going to be a penalty. And I tell you what, it says Sancho to take the penalty because he's on a hat-trick. But as it happens, he's actually the best taker left on the pitch. So let's go for it. Jadon Sancho for a hat-trick in the lead. He's put it in the corner. And I tell you what, the Englishman, the fellow compatriot, has stood up when it counted. 33 years of age, declining physically. But a hat-trick in the Spanish Cup final. And Barcelona lead after 37 minutes here. 3-2 against Levante. Nowhere near deserved, but we'll take it. And we're playing out from the back again. It's Bernard the goalkeeper to Todibo. What we'd like to do is just get a bit of confidence on the ball now, as we find Onasimo on the right. He's got 2 inside, finds De Jong. Long ball forward to Mastanov, and he's broken the defensive line. Mastanov 1-on-1. It's a really good recovery blocked by the defender, and it's cleared long downfield. But we're threatening to just pull away here. Half-time, Barcelona 3, Levante 2. No fan in this stadium can argue about value for money. And we're going to encourage the lads into the second half. Let's hope we can get out on top and make sure we solidify a little bit defensively. We might take off some of the tired lads as we go along, but for now, we rely on experience. And we are back as the ball's being switched by Levante, but Galovic does well to head back to Bernard. Very strange start to the highlight that. But Bernard throws out to De Jong, who's got a bit of time. Breaks the press to find Vidal in the centre circle. Back to Luis. Seems to have sorted us out a bit defensively. I know we're sacrificing Luis almost there, but if it gets us the result, who cares, quite frankly. It's a team game. As Todibo picks it up again. All the way back to Bernard. No problem with you doing that. As long as we don't concede, I'm happy. Armini to Galovic. Now we've got Levante on the run. Sancho with a through ball. Brilliant touch. Mastanov on the chest. Volleys in for 4-2. Brilliant touch. Flicked it up with the seconds. And the third one fires it past the keeper. 3 goals and an assist for Jadon Sancho. Not had the best season overall, but today he has stood up when it's counted. And that's what the biggest and best players do. As Martinez gets it at right back to Onasimo, to Vidal. If we can make it 5, we can start to rest people and we can start to build confidence. But the last thing we need is a mistake as De Jong switches it. Onasimo to Vidal. Lovely football. He's been left all alone and he's shot straight at Rodriguez. But it was almost a fantastic, fluent Barcelona goal. Nearly an hour on the clock. Still Levante have a threat as Ibanez to Hostench. Beats his winger. Crosses in for Fran. And his header's just over the bar. But that chance came a little too easily. I'm not convinced that that's a positive for us. However, we have got to the 65th minute. We have not yet conceded another goal. We have the 2-goal lead and we've got to start to think about changes. At this stage though, I don't actually know which ones are best for us. In the number 10 role, we can make a like for like. Ferran Vidal can be replaced by Boadu. He'll become a shadow striker. We did that in the last game against PSG. I do want to take Luis off ideally, but not just yet. Because we haven't got any central midfielders on the bench, bar the youngster Jamie. And I'm not quite ready to make that sacrifice. Maybe with 15 to go, if it's still 2 or 3 goal lead, we can. Luis wins it back in the middle. Onasimo in the centre circle to Sancho. What a game he's had, by the way. Probably earned the rest he's going to get on Tuesday. Back to De Jong, to Onasimo, to Mastanov. Chipped onto the bar. It's brilliant goalkeeping. And Hostench just volleys it into the stand. And we now have to think about midweek. Because Galovic, as much as he was tired, Vinagre's one of the best replacements in the team. So we don't mind changing that position. But at centre-half, we might find it harder. So Dennis Rui will come on for Nicolo Armini. So Todibo will never be fit in midweek. But hopefully now, Armini and Rui will. In central midfield, Luis will be replaced by Jamie. Deep line playmaker on defend, that suits him down to the ground. So let's get into the last 15 and make sure we stay out this result. Still Barca 4, Levante 2. And we're coming forward again with Boadu, who's found space. Into Sancho. Just over the bar. He could have had 4 there. What a brilliant game he's produced. And we owe him this result because we have been the worst side until he stepped up. He got us a hat-trick, built some confidence. And now we've seen the real Barcelona this half. But Jadon Sancho was the man. He should be lifting that trophy if he isn't. As Barcelona beat Levante 4-2, we got more of a scare than we bargained for. We had a tougher test with selection than we bargained for. But Jadon Sancho the hero, a brilliant hat-trick, Mastanov's goal drought is ended, and we have produced a cup final winning performance to take our first trophy as Barcelona manager. There is the confirmation, a 4-2 victory for Barcelona. A win in the Spanish Cup. Definitely a man of the match performance from Jadon Sancho. Let's have a look at the post-match press conference. They want to talk about lots of different things there, so we're not going to get involved in that. £500,000 in the bank. Lots of medals for anyone who's appeared. Lots of youngsters involved in that too. There's some real positives there. I can't see Jamie on that list, and he made an appearance in the final. That can't be right. Xavi praises our spirit. That's a positive for us. Where's he these days? Still at Al Sadd. Been there 15 years nearly. Wow, I didn't realise how long we'd gone without winning it. Barcelona have not won this for 7 years. And we've managed to break that trend. What a fantastic result for us then. We were runners-up 3 years ago to Real Madrid. And this time, we have got the victory. I'm so pleased about that. Jadon Sancho will get every bit of praise in the world. Superb in front of goal, hat-trick hero. We couldn't thank him more for that performance. And we are top of La Liga. We've got to have a look to see who Real Madrid have got this weekend, because presumably they'll be in action as normal. They're not by the looks of it. So Real Madrid 3 titles in a row. We're looking to break that. Barcelona 7 years without winning the Spanish Cup. We've broken that trend. Now actually, let's go and have a look at the Champions League. How many years ago did we last win that? 2025. Again, 8 years since Barcelona have won the Champions League. And it's down to 4 now. Bayern Munich a threat. Roma a threat. Lille, we should be favourites. So what we're going to do now as we head to the schedule is we're going to be back for one of 2 events. We're either going to be back for the second leg against Lille if the tie's still a little bit tight, tense or on a knife edge, but I won't just come back if we're 4 or 5 up or vice versa. Or we'll be back as we can wrap up La Liga. So I know it may mean El Clasico isn't a big game, but I would certainly prefer that at this stage. So we will be back when it next matters, either the Champions League semi-final second leg, or if we can wrap up La Liga and get the job done before that final game decider. We'd like it to be a less important game if possible. Of course, the priority now is wrapping up the dream and completing everything this year. From non-league, jobless and no qualifications to Champions League winner in 14 years with Barcelona. That would certainly be a pretty incredible way to finish. And we could yet finish with 5 trophies in 2 years, including La Liga, the Premier League, the Champions League and the Europa League. So the Champions League is the dream now. We hope to be playing the final in our final episode of this series. But let's see if we can get there first. We have got some big games coming up. We have got some tough tests on the way. And nothing is over yet with our heavily depleted and tired squad. But if you did enjoy that cup final, a thrilling game if nothing else, certainly a scare as well, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the display, what you think of the rest of the season, and if we can nick that Champions League as well. Surely La Liga's done now. I don't know what Real Madrid's run-in's like. Of course it will definitely feature us. We'll have a look to see if there's any other big boys in there as well. Because if not, we might be in a spot of bother. In fact, I don't think there are. They're pretty much mid-table and below. Probably Real Betis at home, the only one that stands out. But even then, they're 7th or 8th now. In fact, they're 14th. They've dropped very far down the league. So Valladolid probably the hardest one now. And both of us have yet got to face them. So if you are looking forward to that and you don't want to miss it, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases on the channel, including the next episode of this one on Saturday at 4:30. The weekend also sees the return of our new Macclesfield Town mini-series, and tomorrow we're back with Dorking Wanderers. We had a big transfer special yesterday, and we've got our first game on camera tomorrow as we look to compete in the Europa League for the first time and make the most of some very important signings. There's also weekly live streams on the channel every Tuesday morning at 10 AM, so please do pop along if you're able to. And finally, you can check out the podcast in the eye above. We've got interviews with current and former professionals, predictions, matchday vlogs and topical podcasts too. We're having a wonderful time making it at the moment and we are growing quickly, so thank you so much for your incredible support. But a big thanks for watching this one as we secure our first title over in Spain, and we're looking to make it 3 here with Barcelona and completing this series in style. So I hope you'll join me on Saturday for the next big moment in that quest. Thank you for watching this one as always, and I hope to see you next time.